first 18 pages of Bibbin's book. And it ends abruptly. I want to put this carefully. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but the impression that I got was that they had to retype huge chunks of it and may have. This is going to sound bad, but I really don't intend this disrespectfully, but I get the impression almost that they may have grown tired of typing out the whole book, and that may explain why they stopped so abruptly.
You know, it's funny. I kind of just now realized this. I opened up the show quoting Ecclesiastes 12:12.
And there it is.
I actually, that was not
intentional.
Yeah. Remarkable as these statements will be, when thoughtfully considered, they are absolutely true and can only be found explained in a large scale in the book called the Bible. Of course, there are a few books that explain little of our people. Read Ecclesiastes 12:12, which says that of making books there is no end.
Some one-Westers have used Ecclesiastes 12:12 to argue against. I'm not saying all one-Westers do this, or even most do it, but some have used Ecclesiastes 12:12 as an argument against turning to books other than the Bible. You know.
Let me know.
Once again, make it easy to everybody.
Start off this program, Abu, with Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And it speaks about the teacher, who I do believe, of course, is King Solomon. And he says something interesting here, starting in verse 9. Not only was the teacher wise, but he also imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. The teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads, their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails, given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to them. Of making books there is no end, and much study wearies the body. Now, someone say, oh, vocab, are you saying that Abba Bivens and Ariah are like the wise teacher of the book of Ecclesiastes? No, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. The only part that I just read that applies to the situation tonight is, of making books there is no end. And somewhat taking the thing out of context to say, it appears that within one West of making books there is no end, because not only do we have this one, but in somewhat taking the thing out of context to say, it appears that within one West, the situation tonight is, of making books there is no end. And somewhat taking the thing out of context to say, it appears that within one West of making books there is no end, because not only do we have this one, but we're hot on the trail of a third.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, here you got it, Beavis and Butthead at it again. You know, that's why I coined them. I originally coined them Dr. Edom. This guy here, Butthead. But now it's Beavis and Butthead. Today this topic is going to be on this hypocritical false prophet named Vocab, all right? And also a slanderer. Now, he slandered the apostles many times over. And now he's even going as far as degrading and dishonoring Elder Abba Bivens, King Masha, and the rest of the elders from the old school. But to me, and those that have eyes to see, they see that this guy and his cronies are clearly just mockers, man, scoffers. All right, it's spoken of in the scriptures that in the last days. I'm gonna get that real quick. I'm gonna start off with that one. I'm gonna go to another precept after that. All right, because you got he just did a video speaking about, as you saw in the beginning, a few books that were written by the elders of the old school, all right, One West, breaking down their doctrine, all right, or like a companion book to explain their beliefs, right? It's very important to understand. This is how you spot and catch a hypocrite. So his video was trying to expose the elders at One West and the old school, expose them for writing a book. Albert Bivens, King Mashar, High Priest Ariah, they all, and Elder Yaquab, they all came together and had a book, right? Allegedly. Now this book came out, however, and as he read in the introduction, it said the elders were explaining their belief. Now this fool here, Butthead, got a damn book his damn self. You know, he gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, saying the making of many books. And he like, yeah, I'm taking it out of context. You know, yeah, that's exactly what you did. You took it out of context. Because that's not what King Solomon was talking about. He wasn't talking about his own people making books. He was talking about your people making books. These damn nations, these heathens, making many books. All right? Not the elders that write a book to explain and putting precepts upon precept. It's just like a person sitting there talking to you, but instead it's written in a book telling you to go to the Bible. Now this book here on the screen, Barack Obama versus the black Hebrew Israelites. See that? That's nothing but a scoffer. That's what the Lord was talking about making many books. There is no end. That's what he was telling Solomon. That's what Solomon was saying. All right, Solomon was the preacher that the scripture was speaking about in Ecclesiastes 12. And the nations had their own books. Just like this fool got his own book explaining, like Esau does, man. They like to go out into the wilderness and everything they see, they try to, like what was his name, the crocodile hunter? Steve Irwin. He would follow the crocodile. I think I see one. Yes, this right here is this species. Examining the species of different people's cultures. You know, philosopher, apologetic, Gnostic. That's all the Gnostics did in the ancient times, was debate against the prophets and the disciples. All right, but you got Dr. Edom here, a.k.a. Butthead. Right? Just having a little fun with that. But he wrote a book his damn self. You see that? Explaining, it was a movie that came out when Obama walked up to some guys. They were supposedly Israelites, but it was in a movie, and they called themselves Black Hebrew Israelites. And he wrote about that moment. It's like, oh my goodness, man! It was a damn theatrical movie, and he wrote about it, and people buying that. I mean, not buying it, but people that follow this guy, they read that book, and they think it's like some deep understanding of. It's like, yo, it was a so-called true story with Obama, how he grew up, but also it was still a movie, and how those guys were portraying themselves in that movie, calling themselves Black Hebrew Israelites. That's not us. All right, that's an agenda, because we're not black, like vocab loves to call us. You know, that's that underlying racism. But yeah, man, he's clearly being hypocritical when he's talking about the elders from One West, talking about their book. You know, picking it apart, just pointing out little petty stuff, man. When all the prophecies coming to pass on the earth, if you look on vocab's page, you see no prophecy. You just see nothing but slander, nothing but mockery. That's it. I say mockery, you know, more than slander. And some borderline slander, man. All right. So this is 2 Peter 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. And that's what they're doing. They're walking after their own lust, their own desires. All right. When this guy Vocab first started, he was part of the School of Seminary Arts. And he wanted to be a rapper and bring in pagan Christianity beliefs into his Eminem form of hip hop. You know. But later on, I witnessed it myself when Polite came out. Everybody knowing Polite was calling all kind of gang members, all kind of madness, shooting up Bibles, but he was getting money off of the videos he made about GMS. That's when I saw this guy, you know, Dr. Edom, you know, butthead right here, so you know what I'm talking about. I saw his videos in the past where he was speaking, and he said, yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing that. Yeah, Polite make a lot of money. He made a great career off of it. I think I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna start diving in too. I'm gonna start investigating and make my page about that, and I'm gonna do an investigation on Israel, Black Hebrew Israelites. See, he jumped on the bandwagon, and he created a career ever since. Nobody would know who he is if it wasn't for that. He'd be some washed up rapper that never made it. So, I used to go to all those hip hop events, man, and he is not, this dude even had no lyrical appeal. All right? And this guy Beavis over here, he calls himself an intellectual. So what? There's a lot of intellectual people that could just read books and learn a lot of vocabulary, study other people's culture, but you still don't have the truth. All right? Still don't have the truth. Ain't that something? Let me get this real quick. So he's doing all that. This is 2 Timothy 3 and 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So that's what these type of people are. They're ever learning, going to seminary schools, universities, united under one verse. You know, they got members leaving them, exposing them. So yeah, man, let's get into the scripture that he brought out in Ecclesiastes 12. Let's start from 8. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 8. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. All is vanity. All right, this would be like Solomon talking, okay, at the time, in the 9th century BC. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. All right, and that's what Solomon did. He set in order many proverbs. Okay, many mysteries. And that's why Esau, these heathens here, they can't understand it. Because of the proverbs that are set in place. All right. And the elders of the old school at One West, their book was explaining the proverb, the knowledge and the proverbs that was set in order. Vocab's book doesn't do that. If you were to get any of the elders, Apostle Tahar was to write a book. If any Akim in this truth was to write a book, we're not supposed to be into that. But I'm just saying, you know, if somebody was to write a book, it would be explaining our belief. And that's fair. Hey, man, it's going to lead you to the Bible, the companion Bible. What if somebody doesn't talk to you, but they can't hear, but they can read? I had to teach a brother a long time ago that couldn't read. I damn near wrote a whole book to him, sitting right in front of him, just writing, so he could read it. You know? But, you know, the scriptures say, buy the truth and sell it not. So I kind of I disagree with the fact of selling books that you write about the Bible. That's just me, you know. So, and this guy here, man, he wrote a book. And he was talking about animals, man. You know, black. He loves saying that word, man. You know, and his homies don't mind. All right. So yeah, man, it says here, you know, it's very important because people like King Solomon and all the ancient prophets and disciples of the Bible, you know, they wrote the words that the Lord told them in spirit and in truth. And if somebody was to write a book explaining that was also teaching the truth, and they'll say, hey, here go a book you can read, got all the precepts in there, it tells you our beliefs and such, and so on and so on. But this guy here, he writes a book, and it's called Barack Obama versus what the hell, about a moment that happened in a movie. And trying to break down Hebrew Israelites and calling Hebrew Israelites militant. You know, don't they call so-called black people militant enough? See that? It's always some negativity from this guy towards our people. He don't bash anything else. He goes at Islam, like some personal vendetta. You know? This dude doesn't defend the laws of the Bible. Not that I know of, not that I've seen. He's not speaking prophecy when the prophecies are coming to pass. He's not telling the truth about the Lord and going to the Hebrew. You hear this guy say many names. You just hear him say Jesus. You hear him say Yeshua. You hear him say Yahweh. You hear him say all these different names. Why is it that he can go to the Yiddish, but we can't go to the Paleo-Hebrew and deal with the Lashon Kodash? You see that? So this is a hypocrite right here, man. That's a hypocrite. Let me get the definition of a hypocrite real quick. Somebody that'll make a book that's not breaking down anything, and he making money off of it, scoffing at these people for their belief, our belief. And he making money off of it. I'm not saying maybe not a lot or whatever, but he's making finance off of it, income. Got the nerve and audacity to make a video and say, hey man, I'm taking it out of context, but hey, it's all good. Making a mini books. You know what I'm saying? What's this? Hypocrite. All right, hypocrite is a person who indulges in hypocrisy. All right, let's get it a little more clear. Hold up. A person who puts a false appearance of virtue, or so like a person who puts on a false appearance of virtue or religion. And that's what this guy's doing, man. He putting on a false appearance, man. A person who acts in contradiction to his or her stated beliefs or feelings. Yes, yep. You know, going contrary to, you know, contrary, let me get one more definition. A hypocrite comes from the Greek word Hippocrates, which means an actor. All you see is this guy dressed up as private eye for Yahweh Shai. See, disrespecting Yahweh Shai. If he was spiritual, he wouldn't be acting in that manner, like a butthead, right? Mockery. That's right, man. So yeah, let me get this real quick. That's all he is a damn hypocrite. And a scoffer. Let's see what a scoffer is. Cause that's more along the lines of what he's doing, scoffing. A person who mocks or makes fun of something or someone. That's him. Damn scoffers. That's all they doing, man. Didn't the Lord tell us that? All right, we just read it. In the last days, there shall come scoffers, walking after their own lust. Is that not these two peas in the pot? 2 Peter 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days. See, there's these Gnostics or apologetics are a sign of the last days. All right. Scoffers walking after their own lusts, man. Okay, their own self-will. Not after what the scriptures say. They're not following after the foundation that Peter set, who was a so-called Negro on top of that, and King David. So let's get back to Solomon, King Solomon, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. The preachers sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. All right, so this guy book here, Barack Obama, that's a Hamite versus the black Hebrew. All that's lies. You see that? All right. It said in the scripture that Yahweh had skin brown, dark brown skin. He said nothing about no damn black. So you got exposed. These guys is clear, easy to expose, man. All right. So the words that King Solomon wrote through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, of Yahweh, were upright, even words of truth. And that's what the elders of GMS and also most of the elders from the old school were dealing with, the truth. At least the bulk of the truth, that we're Israelites. And the Most High's name is Yahweh and His Son named Yahweh Shai. And what did he say in the introduction? This idiot here. These are this book says the elders of the old school One West. In the introduction, they were it says they were explaining their belief. Right? What's wrong with that? That, look, we found a book from it. So what? So what? See that? We found something, and look at this. Look at the pictures on here. Look at the dots on it. Look at the color they made them. Look, see, they took away the color from their skin. Ha 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 ha. Like Beavis and Butthead, man. That's all I keep thinking about. This shit from MTV. But theirs be called Dumb TV. You know? The words of the wise are as goads and as nails fastened by the master of assemblies, like real sharp, right? They're sharp words, which are given from one shepherd. And that one shepherd is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? And further by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh, you know. And that's what this extra books here. You study this book, Barack Obama versus the black Hebrew Israelites, that's like playing a video game. It just drains your damn energy. A waste of time in someone's life, you know, and a waste of mental space and energy. But the words of the wise, they build you up. And that's what the elders of the old school had, those books. Whatever reason were written. If you would grab one, if I was to grab one of them books and I wasn't in the truth, and I picked it up, I would be like, oh man, Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh, all right. So they're saying they're Israelites. You know, they be like, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't get what they're excited about. As you saw, you know, they were drooling over their books that was written. But this guy got books that he came out with, trying to make money, right? And further, by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh. And that's what they doing. They just wearying the flesh. That's it. All right? Wasting their damn time. And wasting their stumbling block. And set up to draw away a bulk of the 2/3. All right. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, man. All right. So that's just it. Focus on the Lord's words, you know, and like if the apostles were to write a book today, I'm sure their book would tell you to go to the scriptures. Just like the elders of the One West in the old school, their book was telling you to go to the scriptures for the truth, as this guy said in the beginning. But his book is not telling you to do that. His book that he wrote about black Hebrew Israelites is based upon mockery. So this is what the Lord was talking about, making the many books. We was go try to read this damn book to rebuke this fool. We would just drain ourselves. That's it. The Lord is saying, yo, forget all that. Just focus on speaking the truth and keeping the Lord's commandments to the best of your ability, and especially His commands and what doing His work righteously. All right, meaning speaking the truth. And these two here, Beavis and Butthead, they don't have the truth, man. You know. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And these guys not keeping the commandment. They're not keeping the commandments. All right. For Yahweh shall bring, and we not, you know, we try our best to keep the command. We fall short, but they're not. I'm sure they're not keeping the commandments at all. I'm sure they're dealing with Sunday as a Sabbath. You know, I'm sure. I'm not sure of these things, but I can imagine that they would do these things. All right. Do he eat pork? I don't know. The guy on the left looks like he does. All right. So I'm not here to bash them specifically, but there's going to be a little jesting in the mix. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment. So even this little vain book right here, Barack Obama versus, black Hebrew Israelites, the Lord's going to bring that into judgment. With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, man. So He's going to have to pay for writing that, for attacking the prophets, for being a mocker and a scoffer and scorner. All right? So every time he talked to this guy, Kangaroo Jack on the left, Beavis, he always, this is what that is what do you call his name? Abu? I think his name was Abu. He used to talk trash to the apostles in the past, man. Walk up to him in New York. I remember him. Came up like one time, a couple times. Yes, what that is an old Phoenician script known as the Paleo-Hebrew. Man, shut up. Shut up. Tell our people how to get out of that condition. You know what I'm saying? Instead, they sit back and mock us. They don't care about our people, man. All right? This YouTube got people, these Edomites and a lot of these Jakes bugged out, man. Chasing $1. But us, we chasing a what? A spiritual reward. This is 2 Timothy 3 and 16, right? Because how is this guy warning the people? He's not warning nobody. He's not warning the people what's to come, about the MOTB, about World War III. You don't hear none of that. And all they talking about is Russia right now. Why? Because this guy, what does the scriptures say? Look at this. It says, Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So that's what we're supposed to be dealing with, prophecy. This guy does not have the spirit. And Scripture says that if they speak not according to this word, prophecy, and truth, there is no light in them. All right, that's it. That's these two. Okay, so that's right, man. Because they're not brethren. They're not of the tribes. Most likely of the 12 tribes of Israel, and they hate the fact that the Lord is only dealing with one nation on this earth. You know, they hate that. And Satan was always there to be an adversary in the court, to go against the testimony of the Israelites, of the elect, well, the prophets. This is Isaiah 28:5. All right. In that day shall Yahweh of hosts of armies be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people. So his name matters, man. Yahweh. See, they hate that. You know, it's dreadful among these damn heathens. But Yahweh, that's part of our beauty, man, and our glory. And that's what the elders of the old school One West, people like King Mashad, that's what gives them their beauty and glory, and their crown, man. The name of Yahweh, and they were speaking the truth. See, what about this guy's book? See that? Making of many books. All right? Again, the elders of One West made books, but if you open their book, it's going to say, go to the Bible at this verse. This is talking about Yahweh Shai. This verse here is talking about Russia. This, you know what I mean? And this is our belief. All right, so, and for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate, man. So that's our strength, man, against these heathens, these idiots. You know. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink, are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. And that's people like IUIC, ISUPK, you know, people that started off in the One West, and they've erred through their own vain deceit and philosophy. Right? Not sticking to the truth. The priest and the prophet, and they threw away the Lord's name. So that's not a diadem to them. They lost their glory. But they also have erred. What's like a? They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. Then it says spirit of the Lord, spirit of prophecy. So they, you know, so even the ones that fell off from One West, they err in vision. Just like these two here. Them two. They err in vision, man. And the ones and the jakes that's following them. All right? They stumble in judgment, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean, man. So how are these people getting clean if they're not going through the true Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai? How are they getting clean if they don't know the Most High's name, if they're not doing the work that the Lord set out to do, warning our people of the prophecies, being his voice while he's not here? These guys aren't doing that. They're just mocking. Go through this guy's page. You're going to see nothing but mockery. Scoffers. Professional scoffers on top of that. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? You know, was it their elders? Because they got elders too. I saw a video that he about to do this week or something, honoring the apologetics. But he want to dishonor the elders of the One West that were trying to deliver or to wake up our people out of the darkness they were in. and have died and went to the spirit realm. This dude still disrespecting. Ain't that something? It's ill, man. Cold. These some cold devils here, man. You know, that's what they are, man. Some damn devils, deceivers. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, man. So they the ones that's going to understand doctrine. People that have been brought up correctly, that have not tried to creep in unawares and go up some other way, and not go through Yahushua. Yahushua set up our Bivens to return the hearts of the children to the fathers, and fathers to the children, and to announce the return of Yahushua, just like spoken of in Malachi. All right, spirit of prophecy. So those that have grown up in the truth, you gotta start from the milk, and these guys can't understand the milk. You know, they understand the carnal things. That's what the carnal things are for them. The spiritual are for the spiritual people. All right, for the hopeful elect of Israel. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So that's why you match the precepts up with the prophecies, you know, to create the doctrine. Because it's not going to say Negro or Native American in there. You got to understand the prophecies. And the curses. And Esau can't even understand the milk. That's why they call him a serpent, laying in the dust. That's what these guys are, man. Serpents in the dust, in the confusion. All right. So if you were to read the Apostles' book or the Elders' book from One West, I'm sure if you open it, it's gonna have precepts in there to go to. It'd be more like a study or companion, descriptive book. You know, I would have probably bought it so I could get some understanding if I ain't know. I wouldn't buy this crap here. Barack Obama versus black. I mean, come on, man. That's you could tell it was not well thought out. It was just put together. All right, tacky. So yeah, man. For all tables, where was that? For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. So the Lord is mocking these people too. So, you know, he set up the prophets to speak all over the world, different languages, different places, but we're speaking the same truth. And we're mocking these in the spirit of righteousness, all right, by speaking the truth. You might jest or joke around, you know, just like the picture I got up here. Yeah, it might make a little jest or joke, but you move on, you handle your business, and do the Lord's will. All right. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. That's what it's about. Who are the weary? The children of Israel, not Esau. See? Or the Syrians, or the Ishmaelites, you know, or the Arameans, which is Syrians. That's what I'm starting to think this guy is. I'm starting to think he's an Ishmaelite or a Syrian or something mixed. You know, butthead over here. Hey, you know, to each their own. I don't know what the hell he is, but I know he's wicked, according to the script, what the scriptures say. All right. So we speak with stammering lips, with a mocking tongue. You know, not scoffing, but we scoff at them in a sense, man. The wicked, in the spirit of truth. You know, we mock them, call them wicked. Right? But them, they attack you personally and try to make lies up about you, calling you rapist and shit like that. Militant, See, all these things that'll get you physically endangered. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, right? This guy's book is not causing nobody to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet you would not hear. But the word of Yahweh was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. And that's what happened to our people, vocab. Our people were broken, snared, and taken by your people, Beavis. All right. But that word, the words of the prophets, the words of truth, even the words of Solomon and wise men that have searched out Proverbs and have written them and published the words, you know, that has traveled and carried on through through time and ages, you know, and kingdoms and many attacks. The word of the Lord is tried 7 times, meaning completely, especially in these last days. All right, that's why the spirit of prophecy, and the prophecy is coming to pass. We're in that time, heathens. This is 1 Corinthians 1:20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not Yahweh made foolishness the wisdom of this world? Right? Because these heathens, you go to them, they're going to teach you what the universities taught them. If you just go to the elders of GMS, or you go to the, you know, the elders at the One West back in the day, the sincere ones that were lined up with the doctrine, the proper doctrine. If you just go to them or read a little pamphlet or something from them, it's going to be what? Wisdom, you know. But if you go to these guys from their university and in this book, Barack Obama, that's foolishness. For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. See that? Through all this wisdom, all this knowledge that they got, they claim to have, all these damn words, vocabulary, right? Letter man, like method man, vocab. For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So it's a pleasure to the Lord to condemn, confound, have them confounded. All right, they're going to be confounded, man, when the Lord shows up. Or actually, when the prophecies start kicking off. All right. Let me get this real quick. Go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 11. Yeah, because I saw that video. I was like, oh man, here go the hypocrites. At it again, scoffers. Like Ernie and Bert. I was like, nah, more like Beavis and Butthead. Ecclesiastes 3 and 11. He have made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he have set the world in their heart. All right, that's why Beavis and Butthead here, they're so worldly. You know, everything about them is under one verse, under one world. University. All right. So the Lord set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end. They can't find it out. And that's the mockery. That's the true comedy. It's, you know, true humor is to see the heathens not be not be able to get the truth and be mocking at the same time. It's like, sheesh, scoffing at the same time. It's like somebody having no arms and they try to scoff at you for having arms. You know, no disrespect to anybody. This is Isaiah 59:21. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith the Lord. Right? So Yahweh has a covenant with his woman, the servant. All right, Yahweh Shai's bride. He has a covenant with us, vocab. Esau don't like that. The Lord said he's gonna make a new covenant with the house of Israel, not with all the nations. Not because Esau won't come crying and crawling his ass up in there. Well, I say slithering. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing worse than seeing a snake cry. How you trust that? Is that even possible? My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth. See, those the words that the Lord has put in people like Solomon, King Solomon's mouth, and in the elder apostles' mouth, and in our mouth today. Which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. That's why we can write things like companion books and explain it to our people. It just makes more sense for our nation building, Israelite building. You see that? Not scoffing, writing a book based upon scoffing. Barack Obama versus the black Hebrew Israelites. My observation of these militant men coming out claiming that they're Israelites when they're really just black, African. You know what I'm saying? So this belongs to us. That's why they can write a book. Because they're going to explain it the correct way and say, hey, this Bible is our book. It's not telling you to go away from the Bible. It's not telling you lies as far as our people saying, you know, they had to tweak a couple things, but the Lord said, what? Knowledge was going to be increased. And that's what happened. Knowledge has increased. So what happened with that? The truth increases as well. Because we have more resources, and the Lord is pouring his spirit out more in these last days. All right, and everything has to grow. We started off as a nation again as babies, just like when we came out of Egypt. But now we're in the womb as a fetus, and you got Esau here and pointing the fingers at the elders of the old school when they were growing, but they were still growing in the truth. This is a tree that was growing, man, and they tried to judge the stump, the root, the foundation, before the tree even blossoms. This is gonna be an ugly tree. It's a horrible tree. Look at it. Look at the stump. I'm trying to tell you. Nah, yeah, this tree is gonna be a beautiful tree. You know, a green tree, the nation of Israel. Branches reaching through the ends of time. Starting from Yahweh Shai and Peter. So this belongs to us, man. That's why you may have a brother write a book explaining our beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. Selling it, hey man, everybody got their different opinions on it. So, get one more precept, man, on these scoffers right here. That's all they are. Psalms 50 and 16. This is Psalms 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? See, they couldn't declare it anyway, in any form. You know, they can't declare the Lord's statutes because they don't know them. Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. All right. So we love instruction. So if a brother have a book and he say, yo, check my book out I wrote. I got precepts in there and it explains our beliefs. You can give it to your family members that don't know the truth or something. And hopefully they'll be one of the elect and they'll get the truth, you know. And I don't know what was going on in the old school, you know, but I do know one thing. I know how to spot a hypocrite today. And I see two of them, you know. So I'm gonna get one more precept, man. It's on my spirit. See, the Lord don't like ugly. He don't like a false balance. This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight, man. Righteous judgment is his delight. And these guys are not judging righteously. They're being unfair, unbalanced, hypocritical, scoffing, putting up a book about from elders where most of them not even on the earth anymore. Elder Yaquab, King Masha, Abba Bivens, the great Abba Bivens, who was Elijah in the, you know, in reincarnation. So that's hypocrisy, man. It's scoffing. All right, and he, talking about their book when he got a book his damn self, and his book is more along the lines of what King Solomon was talking about in Ecclesiastes 12 when they were making the many books. He's talking about these nations. And, you know, they were making all these damn books with their beliefs and their philosophies and their customs, trying to compete with our book. And then you had these dumbass Gnostics that show up and they believe they got the map to heaven, and they was challenging the disciples back then. But they were Jakes that were challenging, not these Edomites. All right? They would go to the Alexandria, School of Alexandria, and they'll show up speaking their pagan philosophy. That's all being apologetic is. Okay, Proverbs 11:5. I'll start from 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. So these guys are going to be shamed. Scripture say Esau are going to be shamed. All right, shame shall cover them. See, they're not covered in that. Right? This guy on the left look like a manager at the job that's been firing people that look like us for years. You know? But with the lowly is wisdom, man. All right? And that's what people like King Masha and Elder Albert Bivens were. They were lowly. From what I witnessed in the videos. I don't know them personally, but I know a lowly teacher that's on the earth today, Elder Apostle Tahar, and he was among them. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of the transgressors shall destroy them. It's going to lead them into what? Scoffing. You know? That's the fruit that they bear. You look on his page, it's nothing but scoffing, showing off his vocabulary and shit like that, just like Polite. Now look at Polite today. The Lord cooking up a pie for you too. Peas in the pot. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. Hey, you make any money off of this, man, it's not going to profit you in the day of wrath, in the judgment day, when the prophecies really kick off. They're kicking off now, but, you know, so the rich is not going to profit these two boneheads in the day of wrath. But righteousness delivereth from death, man. All right, yeah, the elders from the old school, most of them have went to the spirit world, but they're gonna be raised up in the last days, and they're in peace. They're in paradise, and they're gonna be raised up in the last days, and gonna be in the kingdom, living and ruling forever. All right. So rich is not gonna profit these people, man. All right, coming out with these books, it was all for vanity. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. So that's what we gotta wait for. That they're gonna fall by their own wickedness. Trying to outsmart, out clever the Most High, who is a so-called black man sitting up there on the throne. Looks like one. All right. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them. What's that? Doing his work, speaking the truth. That's righteousness, man. And that's all the Lord care about. That's why the Lord said no man can judge him. He judged of no man. But the Most High is going to judge us. We wait for Yahweh's judgment, and we pray that he looks at us one day and say, good work, my fellow servant, my beloved servant. Go ahead and inherit the kingdom. That's the judgment we're looking for. Not these heathens, this perverse nation that's judging us for not being rich and famous, that's judging us for not being Black Panthers and being violent, judging us for not being drug dealers, judging us for not having long hair and dreads and shit like some of these apologetics do, judging us for standing our ground and standing up for our people. You know, judging us for standing up for the Lord's name and the truth. See, the Lord got a reward for that. All right. When a wicked man dieth, ooh, what about that one? I'm gonna start from 6. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them. See, riches is not gonna profit you, but the people that he's scoffing at, they're gonna be delivered. All right, he's scoffing at the elders of the old school. Most of them are in the spirit realm, and some that are here today that are still doing the work, mainly Apostle Hara on down. It says what? Their uprightness is going to deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness, man. This vain work that these two are doing, these two devils, they're going to be taken in that by the Most High and his son Yahushua. All right? The Lord setting a trap for them. And everybody got to die and spirit go to the spirit realm. So they busy mocking and scoffing. They forget that. They don't have no fear or humbleness about them, man, or lowliness with that in mind. All right? But the hopeful elect have a chance to live forever. Scripture say not everyone shall sleep, but we all shall be changed of the children of Israel eventually. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish. So everything that these heathens are expecting is going to perish someday. All right? But the Lord's work and his will and his word and foundation is going to stand forever. Back then he was talking about prophecies. Yahushua was teaching the disciples about prophecies, teaching them about the destruction coming, teaching them about World War III, teaching them about missiles flying and blotting out the sun, you know, and the moon. Scoffers was going to show up. Esau was going to rush in as a flood. All these things, man. Again, you know, come after us again. He was warning us about 70 AD as well. When their people, Beavis' people, and Butthead's people, came in there, burned down our temple, ravaged our people, raped our women, just like they did in slavery. And they're still doing that, spiritually ravishing and raping our people. All right? And they're not going to stop because they got to get their judgment. If they would have stopped today, where would the judgment stand? They got to get that judgment. They got to be those scoffers so the Lord can judge them for that. All right, these not rich Edomites. These are low-level Edomites. Two-time losers. They're going to lose on this side, and they're going to lose in the kingdom. They lost already because they're not filthy rich like the Rothschilds. You know, being Edomites, they better get it on this side because they ain't going to have nothing in the kingdom. They're going to be two-time losers. All right, the righteous is delivered out of trouble. Big difference. All right, so the righteous is going to be delivered out of trouble. And the wicked cometh in his stead. So the Lord going to put people like them in the place. He said the wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous. It's like a bus coming in and a righteous man about to get hit, and the Lord move him, put a wicked man there, Vocab and Beavis in his place. And let the judgment hit them. See, the hopeful elect are marked with a mark called the Tawah, which is the mark of exemption from judgment. Forever, even if they have to leave this earth. You see that? The Lord gonna raise them up, resurrect them first. All right. A hypocrite, whoa, there you go, with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. And that's what they've been doing, they're trying to destroy us. And the Lord said our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's what Esau is doing. They're the deceiver. All right, the battle in the arena is dealing with what? Knowledge and wisdom. The Lord said he chose through the foolishness of preaching for us to be saved. Why? Because our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right, and the Lord said knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our time. What time? Jacob's trouble. And Esau is trying to keep our people asleep and led as sheep to the slaughter. That's their job. Keep our people sedated. Dr. Edom over here. All right, and hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. They're trying to destroy Jacob. But through knowledge shall the just be delivered. All right, and we'll see in the end who's right.